For this lesson, you need to open the sample file grades1 from your sample files folder. I'm going to begin this lesson by looking at the function arguments for the VLOOKUP function. So I'll click Formulas on the ribbon. In the function library group, Lookup and Reference, and at the bottom of the list, you'll find the VLOOKUP function. In lesson 322, you used a VLOOKUP to perform an exact lookup. And to do that, you added the value false to the fourth argument, range lookup. And most of the time, an exact lookup is exactly what you want to do. But sometimes, you don't want to search for an exact match, but you're interested in the nearest match. This is called an inexact lookup. And when you want to perform an inexact lookup, you set that fourth argument to true. Consider the exam grades shown in columns E and F. If you were to perform an exact lookup on a mark of 80%, it would correctly return a grade of A, because there is a value of 80% in column E. But a student with a mark of 77% would result in an error, because there's no exact value of 77% in column E. If you ask VLOOKUP to perform an inexact lookup, it will return an exact match if one's found. But if no exact match is found, it will return the largest value that is less than the lookup value. For VLOOKUP to work with inexact matches, it's vital that the lookup column is sorted in ascending order, from the lowest to the highest value. And you can see that the values in column E are already sorted in ascending order. Now let's look at some of the percentage marks in column B and the grade that would result from an inexact VLOOKUP. First of all, Johnny Kane's mark of 70%. If we look up 70% in column E, we find an exact match in row 6. So Johnny's grade would correctly return as B. But consider George Marley with a 68% grade. There's no exact match of 68% in column E. So instead, VLOOKUP will return the largest value that is less than the lookup value. In other words, it will return row 5, 60%, and it will correctly return George's grade of C. Before using the VLOOKUP function, it's best practice to convert the range E3 to F8 into a table. So let's do this first and create a table called grade. This was covered in lesson 111 and 117. So I select cells E3 to F8, insert on the ribbon, and in the tables group, table, and I click OK. And now let's name the table grade. So that's Table Tools Design on the ribbon. And in the Properties group, instead of Table 1, I'll call this Grade. And it's important not to forget to press the Enter key to save that value into the cell. The reason it's best practice to use a table is that if we want to add or remove grades in the future, we'll be able to do that and the VLOOKUP will still work. Now let's add the VLOOKUP into cell C4 that will correctly return Johnny Kane's grade. So I click in cell C4, then Formulas on the ribbon. In the function library group Lookup and Reference, once again the VLOOKUP function, and the lookup value will of course be Johnny's percentage mark. So I'll click on cell B4. The table array is the grade table, so all I need to do is type grade. The col index num will be 2, because that's the second column in the grade table. And for the range lookup, I'm going to type true to tell Excel that this will be an inexact lookup. Actually, even if I typed nothing in the range lookup box, this would still work, because an inexact lookup is the default for the VLOOKUP function. And you can see that the range lookup argument isn't actually required. I'll click OK, And you can see that Johnny's grade has been returned correctly. And if I now double-click the autofill handle to autofill to the end of the range, you can see that the correct grade is being returned for each of the students. All that remains for this lesson is to save your work, and I'm going to save with the new name Grades 2. And as usual, I'll save to the folder above, my Sample Files folder. I click the Save button, and you've now completed Lesson 324. Use a VLOOKUP function for an inexact lookup.